Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now, today we're doing a kind of local beer. It's actually brewed in Kaunas, so it is, it's about just over an hour train kind of ride straight through express from Vilnius. Vilnius is the capital, but Kaunas is a big city as well. Well, big city if you're looking at it compared to cities within Lithuania. But it's quite a major city. Now this beer is actually brewed in, and it's called IB Volvas Engelmann. Well, it's 5%, and it's a more traditional kind of sweat. So in other words, lighter beer. You know, you get darker beers, which is chomny in Russian, and sveta, or svete in is a kind of lighter, kind of lager type beers and that type of stuff. So I thought, well, why not do? Because these are the kind of ones. Now this is quite an old one. I'm not really sure how far it dates back. I've not my glasses on, but I'll quickly put them on. But I get a lot of glare because of the way this is lighting me up. So I'll look down so it doesn't give the glare. So it's from 1853 when they were brewing this. So there you go. And there's lots of kind of details on there at the back. It looks like it's maybe won awards in the past, I don't know, but anyway, it's 5%, 500ml, less than €2, I think it was. Got some crisps here as well, just to kind of enjoy it with. Might help the flavour. We'll see what it's like. Let's crack it open. You cheeky butt. We'll see where this takes a glass of beers. Quite good though, by the way, because where we're staying is I didn't actually have to go out and buy a beer glass. I actually had an alright beer glass in it. Don't know what it says. It says some shit there, but anyway, it's nothing to do with me. And if it is anything, I'm not promoting it. It's not my glass, and I will be leaving it here. But it means I didn't have to buy one. Hey, success! Right, let's get this poured. Oh. Bit of a lively bugger. Oh, which is good because this is the way it should be. These type of beers are supposed to be kind of lively. And I can say it's a nice, well, the head will probably be at least 2 fingers. It's normally with these type of beers. It'll be a lot softer carbonation. It won't be as soft as an ale, but it will be a softer carbonation compared to what we get as lagers in the UK, because this will be very similar to the kind of lagers you get in Russia. And my extra crunchy chips today is snack day extra crunchy chips, and it's sweet chili flavour. I've got salt and vinegar on it as well. This is what I managed to buy when I was in Lidl, when I was looking at the beer, and it was all Argus. Now, do a search for Argus in my kind of content videos on my channel. And I've only got one with Argus, and it was little kind of French stumpy beers. So I thought, I'm not buying, because every beer nearly had Argus written all over it, and it was all kind of the same type of can, same design, but just different colours. You know, there's white ones and gold ones and green ones and blue ones, and I thought, no, bugger this. Just get myself some chips and that type of stuff and see if I can find better beer somewhere else. Well, they are extra crunchy. There you go. I can name it my fucking teeth for weeks now, so okay now. Oh, there he is, look at him. Look at that arsehole clawing at his mouth. You know what I mean? But anyway, what does it smell of? Because it's died down a bit now. Yeah, that was only basic filling time there. It's not my first rodeo. Right, what does it smell of? Grain. There's that kind of, I know this kind of smell quite often. There's a slightly bready, slightly grainy smell. But you're getting, kind of slightly yeasty kind of grainy smell that you get, and it's very normal to, I've smelt loads of beers like that in Russia. And yeah, it's going to be probably closer to that kind of style of beer, which is fine. It's just a kind of slightly nice, refreshing, lower carbonated, closer to more of a nail-like kind of carbonation, but still got refreshing and has a little kind of, here's a slightly kind of peppery, maltish edge to it. So let's see if it's actually got that. Yeah, right on the button. Seriously. And it's a great mouthfeel. It's almost like taking a lager and almost it has more of a flavour of a lager, but the mouthfeel of a golden ale. And that's one of the things I don't understand, is because this actually makes it more refreshing because it's got less carbonation in it, and it actually does make it more interesting. There's a bit of sweetness there, which you always get. You get the slightly pepperiness skin in the mid-tongue. Overall, it's just a nice kind of reflected. This is the type of lagers that, if our mainstream lagers, or mainstream piss waters, actually kind of emulated, these would be good standard run-of-the-mill lagers. I'm not looking for anything kind of over the odds like you get in Czech Republic or something like that. But I think if our mainstream, because these are mainstream lagers, let's be honest, this is the kind of more Eastern European mainstream lagers, and you taste them, you think these are actually quite nice actually, and they're easy drinking, but there's a bit of flavour to them, there's a bit of malt, you can taste the malt in them and everything else, and it just ticks the boxes. You're thinking, why is our lagers not like that? And these are cheap produced, but for some strange reason, we don't do these style of lagers in the UK, and if we did, and we were selling them, then they would probably easily kick the arse in a lot of the mainstream piss waters. And that's the difference. And one of the major things is the mouthfeel. It's just a lot even. You can make these easily. No any kind of gas coming back on you, no carbonation fight to try and get back out past the actual liquid. Just there you go. Very easy drinking, but some nice flavour there. Nice bit of sweetness there and everything else, and I just don't understand, because there's thousands of these types of kind of lagers in Russia and in a lot of these kind of surrounding countries like Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, moving into kind of Bulgaria. They probably even got them in Georgia. I mean, there's so many of these kind of former CIS countries that all have a similar kind of light. It's a light beer. They don't call it a lager or pilsner. Pilsner is more kind of connected to a lager. They refer to these as light beers, because that's what it basically means. And which is kind of a lighter lager. And it's quite funny because Kozel in Russia and a lot of these countries, which of course I can get Kozel here, not a problem, light or dark, but the light beers are kind of similar to this. It's kind of a lighter beer, which is a Czech lager. It's not a pilsner and everything else, and it's just kind of very easy drinking, some nice flavours, a bit more flavour to it, but a nicer mouth feel, and just overall a far better drink because you can actually taste malt in it. You're not tasting chemicals. You get a nice mouth feel, and just overall it's 5%, and there's no resistance either really. So one of these ones, every single one of these type of beers are very sessionable, and it's kind of nice probably doing this because I don't really do these type of beers because I don't really get a chance. I did some Russian beers in the past, but these all the Baltica bullshit ones. These are kind of like the Russian version of our mainstream piss waters. But there's so many other really nice Russian beers that you just can't get outside of Russia. But these are kind of similar kind of brewed type of beers, so this is probably the closest I would get being outside of Russia. Now, right now, with the way the political situation is, it's probably not a good idea for me to be in Russia, so I send a wife. She goes instead. No, because they like her. I don't think they like me. Well, I know they probably wouldn't like me if I was over there, so probably a good idea for me not to be there right now. But this is the closest I can get outside, and it screams to me very similar to what I would probably get in Russia. And these are great in the summer because I've drunk these by the gallon in the summer and I've needed it, you're doing up a house and things like that, and just plumbed in a new bathroom, putting in a new kitchen and that type of stuff. It's absolutely roasting. It's mid-30s and that type of stuff, and trust me, you wait to crack open bottles of these. And these type of things, a lot of time these beers, they're not done in kind of these type of kind of bottles. They come in plastic bottles and they're maybe about 1.5 litres, 2 litres, and I'm telling you, you will sink the 2 litres and like that. And it's like, right, that's the first bottle gone. Next one. And it's just, forgive me, we get a bit of shashlik on the go, it's fabulous. And yeah, even the Russians and kind of Eastern European countries can get it better than what we have in the UK, and you're thinking, God, our lagers are shit. And they're bought by the gallon, so they're sold by the ton load. And you're thinking, you're fucking mugs, it's just gassy piss. And then you have something like this, and you think, no comparison. Now, it's not supposed to be a Pilsner. It is a lager, but it's a kind of slightly kind of, it's almost kind of like a light lager ale. There's a kind of slightly kind of crossover, almost like a hybrid. So easy to drink, seriously. Right, let's break down the flavours. First thing you do, you get is there's a bit of sweetness at the front end. There's a softness of mouthfeel, but it's a bit of sweetness at the front end. But what you also get is this malt. You get this really nice kind of light malt, and it's a decent level of malt, especially for this type of beer. It's almost to the level as what you get in a golden ale, but it doesn't really have the hops to provide. There's no bitterness to this. There's no resistance from that point of view. So you're almost getting the malt levels of a golden ale, but no hoppy resistance. So it actually just tastes like a very malty lager. And you get some nice grain, and you get a nice kind of slight kind of fresh yeast flavour. So this is the kind of thing, especially when you get into the mid-tongue, but the first thing that hits you is there's a sweetness, there's a maltiness, there's a nice grain, and there's a good mouthfeel from the mouth. Moving into the mid-tongue, and you start getting a little yeast accents in there as well, just kind of mixed in with them flavours, and it just kind of peps it up a bit. And then that's it, just nicely dissipates to a very, very clean finish. There's no resistance in the back end whatsoever. But it feels a lot richer, there's a lot more body than you would get from a normal lager, because there's always a decent level of malt in there. It's almost like I said, like a golden ale, but without any resistance coming from the hops at all. So yes, it's a slightly kind of, a richer kind of lager kind of flavours. Yeah, very nice, very enjoyable, very easy drinking. I mean, the summers in Russia were always hot. You're always ready for a beer. And these type of things were plentiful and very enjoyable. And just like this one, it is very enjoyable. If I was drinking lager, I'd rather drink something like this than anything available on tap in any of the pubs in the UK. So none of your macro lagers get anywhere close to this, because this actually has malt and it feels natural. It feels as if it's been properly brewed. It doesn't feel like it's been created and then diluted and everything else. So what would I give this out of 10? Here's the question. Well, I've become accustomed to these for the amount of time I lived in Russia and things like that. Oh, there's absolutely no resistance. It's got a lovely mouthfeel. It really has. To a certain degree, it actually has better mouthfeel than a lot of Czech lagers. It's very ale-like, and it just works that way. This makes it more refreshing. So, out of 10, normal macro lagers are between 3 and 4. This is a kind of, I'm looking between 6 and 6.5, and I'm just going to be honest. Because I've drunk so many of them, and they've proven they can do the job time and time again. And it's just, I miss them. Because I don't drink lagers very often. But if it was, these are the type of lagers that I would probably drink, like I did in the past. Because if I need something refreshing, this ticks the box because it's got a really high level of malt for that type of beer, compared to kind of normal lager. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I would definitely recommend it. It's IB Wolfless Engelmann. But you'll probably find lots of different beers that are very similar to this over here, just like you get in Russia. There's lots of different ones. What you will do is you get ones that are kind of lighter. You get ones like this, it's kind of middle, and you get ones that are a little bit darker, getting slightly just kind of looking at it a bit more like kind of an amber beer. And it's got even more malt in it. So you get 3 shades. You get a really light kind of pale shade. You get this one, which is more of a kind of slightly kind of golden shade. And then you get ones that are kind of darker than this, that's getting closer to a kind of very light amber. And they've got even more malt to them. And that's a kind of normal thing you get. And they're usually around about between 4.5 and 5.5, even go up to 5.7. And they're so easy drinking, they can get into trouble. Especially you can buy them in huge bottles. You can get them in 2 litre, 2.5 litres. Sometimes you can even go up to 3.5 litre bottle, and you're thinking, and you'll tan it like that. And you're thinking, I'm ready for another one. So it's dangerous, but really enjoyable. And these type of beers are classed as a kind of a hard soft drink in Russia. So it's a different licensing system for beer compared to spirits. So these are classed as closer to a soft drink than they are to a vodka or whiskey. So these are just, it's a lot easier to buy this stuff in Russia. And put it this way, if I lived in Russia when I was a kid growing up, I'd have been drinking alcohol at a hell of a lot earlier age. Let's put it that way, than I was in Scotland. But yeah, it's an easy 6.5 out of 10. Very enjoyable. A lot of nostalgia there. I really actually enjoyed that. It was actually quite good. When you finish off the rest of it, have some more crisps. But yeah, 500ml, less than €2 a bottle. There's plenty of options out there. Give it a try. Don't come here and look at the kind of European offerings. Get wired into the kind of local stuff. It's closer to what you would get in Russia because there's a strong kind of culture kind of connection between the two, regardless of political divides. And yeah, it's a good education and it's an absolute pleasure to drink. So thanks for watching. Cheers and bye for now.